we are often naked together in the mornings.
That's true.
Via selfie. Andy and I take our ugly selfies in the morning and send them to each other very often. So,
Oh, Cheri, have I got the genitals for you?
Stop me now.
Oh, no.
If you've got an itch, Andy Vargo will scratch it.
Welcome to another episode of Scrutiny with Cheri, Hardman, and Andy Vargo, where we talk about all sorts of stuff, a lot of relationship junk, a lot of reality TV, and we give it our own personal style of scrutiny. How are you today, Cheri?
I'm good. I'm tired. I've been out, well, 2 nights in a row. I was going to say every night, then it's like, I guess, okay, it was 2 nights in a row. But I am getting elderly, and so that's a lot. And then my husband was very energetic when I got home, let's just say. He was energetic twice, and I didn't get home until 11 o'clock. So
He was missing you.
I guess so. So, yeah.
Well, maybe you should come out more often. I went out a couple nights as well. I didn't have anybody waiting home for me, so I did get a good night's sleep. But yeah, it's been an exciting week. You were out. We were out together Tuesday night.
We were.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's something we're going to talk about. First, I want to always do where we're going to be next, so that it's always the first thing, so people know where we're going to be. And then we'll talk about where we've been. How's that?
All right. Where are you going to be?
Saturday, I have 2 places I'm going to be. I'm going to be doing a Zoom show. It is the first anniversary of Chicks with Mics, which was one of my very favorite mics on Zoom. And so they're not just doing a regular open mic. They're asking all of us heavy hitters that have been doing this, to come back. And I like that room because it's chicks with mics,
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be doing that at 1 o'clock, and people can come watch. So if you'd like to come watch and be a part of this, I'll send you the Zoom link. So just get at me. And then Saturday night, I'm doing a fundraiser for, oh God, it's something water. Damn it.
And that's the one that is at Narrows, correct?
Yeah, at Narrows Brewing Company, I think. And that's a really little fun place. We do it kind of like in a little outside area, but it's covered and there's a heater, but it's outside and you can see the bridge. It's really a fantastic view. It was a really fun time when we did it last time. So I'm excited about that. What about you? What do you have going on?
That's exciting. I have got just some regular stuff going. I've got my regular podcast with Own Your Awkward, and I've got some new episodes of that coming out. And I've got the Be the Better Local podcast on Tuesdays at 11 on the BD Local channel. And outside of that, I've just been busy with a lot of private one-on-one stuff, which has been exciting to see that grow, but it's really coming together.
Yeah, you've been telling me about that. That's exciting. I'm going to turn this other light on because I think when I have both these lights on, it makes me look younger. And I need all the help I can get.
Oh, Cheri, you look so much younger.
I look like 58.
Yeah, wow. It's amazing what a little lighting will do for you. Well, I was having, I don't want to do that. As you know, I was having technical difficulties. And so I had to I'm using my phone today for Zoom, which is why I've got the different angle. And so it's making me very self-conscious, but fortunately you can't see that I'm not wearing pants, but so I just have to remember, don't stand up on camera.
Such a nerd. All right, so should we talk about where we've been? I'll tell you the 2 things that I wanted to talk about: what's going on at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club, We've both
Mhm.
been there this week. Well, we've been there.
Been there,
And
yeah. I actually got to get on stage.
you did, and that was fun. It was a open mic Tuesday night.
Hmm.
You got a very coveted spot in that, and I put my name in the bucket. I didn't get in, but it was fun watching you. So tell me what you thought. What you thought about it?
I thought it was fun. It's fun getting on a new stage just any time, but the way that room is just laid out to get you set up and pumped up to be in comedy. So it was fun having being introduced with music, having the round stage is a different kind of feel. You can really work the whole room. So there were some aspects that were a little different that I actually found myself needing to get a little bit used to, but I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to do some more there.
Yeah, I think it's a really good room. I like that room a lot. I like things that Nate is doing. I went last night because it was the first night of the funniest MF out there. It was the first night. Apparently there was like 100, I forget if you said 125 or 150 people that applied for it, and only 50 got in.
Oh, wow.
So it was the first heat of 10.
Okay.
And he had said that 3 were going to get through, but he's changed that now. 3 get through, and then he does a choice of like whoever else he feels like, maybe if he feels someone got overlooked, or maybe something went a little awry during their set that wasn't their fault, and he thinks that they deserve a chance. He's throwing a 4th person in there. So
Nice.
yeah, so it was cool. So congratulations to Narin Van, even though Nate calls him Naren Vaughn every time.
I think that happens a lot with his name.
Yeah. And who else did I say got in?
That Bo Blast got in.
Bo Blast, yeah, that's what I want. I want to talk about Bo.
He's
Bo
the
Blast.
one to beat, which he was there on Tuesday when I was there, but he didn't go on stage. But the week before he did, and he is hilarious. He really knows how to work the room.
Right, he does. He has his own room that he does. I went to one of his shows at Gloria's. It goes also by another name. Here's the thing about Bo Blast is Bo Blast, you cannot match him for energy and stage presence. He danced his way up to the stage through the audience, and probably the whole first minute was just him claiming that stage as his own. And it's really made me rethink or think about my style, like, I got to bring some more energy. So I really think Bo, boy, he's the one to beat, because not only does he have the talent, but he has tons of fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got tons of friends, tons of fans. He's been around, people know him, and he's charming, he's handsome, he smells good. I mean, I don't have a bad word to say about him. I got to let the dog out over here real quick.
All right. I don't know if that's code for something, but she's got
I thought the dog was there trying to get out. And there's no dog over there. So maybe I heard a dog on the other side. What in the hell is wrong with me? Yeah, so there's that. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about contests is contests can really mess with you. You know, because there will be times when you swear you were the best one, or you did the best, or you were in the top 3, and then you don't get it.
Yeah, and then it does mess with your head, because unfortunately, but we end up walking away from that saying, oh, I don't have the value that I thought I had. When in reality, you just might not have connected with the people in that room the same way, or the person who won might have brought a lot of fans, which is also part of the business of comedy. So it's not wrong that someone who maybe is less funny wins if they bring a bunch of fans, because the clubs want to bring people in that are going to sell tickets. That's the whole point. So that's part of it.
Right.
But
so yeah, there's all that, you know. I'm gonna just really be happy if I make it into the finals.
I can't wait. I've got June 2nd on my calendar. I saw that your invite pop up today, and I went, oh no, I hope I don't have something booked that day. I already have things going on that week. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's just the event I already have down. So yay.
I've already started doing some prep. In preparation today, I went into the bathroom and decided to try the booby tape. to see if I could tape my boobs up so that I could wear whatever I want and not have to really worry about the problem. But apparently, I think it's going to take more than two hands. I think I need a lot of people to help me hoist them and then hold them and then tape. I don't think it's going to work personally. Or I need like a, like a drag queen who's fat, knows how to do that kind of stuff. Or like someone from burlesque that has dealt with big, like I need some experienced person to help me. So
yeah, call in a professional.
Yeah, so that didn't work, but
you can always YouTube it. I don't know what happens if you YouTube
I did.
it, but okay.
I did. I watched like 3 different ones. But even like what they call a big breasted model or whatever is like, is not having to pick hers up.
Oh, right.
To tape them.
They don't understand the scale of what you have going on up front.
Well, and the reach. They're reaching on the floor. So anyway, so the contest is going on at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club every Wednesday night. So there's how many weeks of there's 5 weeks of there's 5 heats because there's 50 people. Yeah, so I'm June 2nd, and then the last one is June 9th. And then after that, then it's like becoming the semifinals, etc. So it's some good comedy. So I would highly suggest going to that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, what?
I said do it.
Oh, was the psychedelic show that I did.
Oh yeah, how was that?
That was
sounded like a lot of fun.
So psychedelic show, let me tell you guys about that. There's a guy from Vegas named Tom Baum, and he's the bomb, of course. But I was Facebook friends with him, hadn't actually met him. And he was coming up, but he does a psychedelic show where the comedians are tripping on psychedelic. Could be LSD, could be mushrooms. And I don't do that stuff. So he asked me to be on it, and I'm like, no, can do. I said, but if you need like a middle person to just come out and tell some jokes while you're doing drugs or whatever, I don't know how it works,
While you're tripping.
Yeah. So, but he had me come out and do the cold open, and we were at a place called Lo-Fi Performance Gallery on East Lake in Seattle, which I never knew where East Lake was, but now I do. It's like, oh, okay.
It's just east of the lake.
Yeah. And just a really interesting space. I was a little uncomfortable when I first went in there because it was new to me and everything. But everyone that came in there just had the best, most positive energy. Like all the audience members were just friendly and supportive.
Nice.
On the show was Dante Barnett, Suitman from Suitman Productions, who was also in the contest last night. And there was a woman named Jackie Pearl from Vegas who has been on my Heavy Petting show. And I knew her from Zoom comedy, and she was hilarious. And Levi Manis was there.
Yeah, he's always funny.
Headlining. Yeah, so it was a really good show. I suggest when the psychedelic show comes to your town, I don't think you have to be a drug person to enjoy it, because I really thought it was a great show. And Tom Baum's got some great energy, and so, yeah, so look for that. It's spelled, psychedelic, but show is spelled like, I think PSYHO, or that's not right. It like looks weird. So anyway.
It's tripping.
Yeah. Either that or I just can't spell. So.
You're not a Cheri's tripping.
Yeah. You really don't have pants on, do you?
Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. I started to cross my leg for a second.
It's just like your leg. I'm like.
I was thinking maybe nobody would notice, but thank you for
Is he wearing beige leggings?
I do have shorts on though.
Oh, good.
Just business on top casual on the bottom. That's all.
I don't care. We are going to Vegas
Yes,
coming
we
up
are.
soon.
That's gonna
So
be fun. The 28th.
I might pose a Vegas question later about maybe what we could do for my birthday. Get
All
some
right.
recommendations. But I do have the gay question for the day.
Oh, you do.
Last week we did how is Andy really gay? It was a whole game show. But today I just thought I'm just going to ask one little question. It's kind of like gay trivia and just see if you know who I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to give you some clues and I'm going to see if you can come up with the person.
Okay, Anderson Cooper.
No. This person is a woman.
Anderson Cooper.
She is a Broadway star. She's also won, I think she's won an Emmy. She's won a Tony, maybe more than one.
Barbara Streisand.
She is known as not only a gay icon, but a very outspoken against people eating or being on their phone in the theater, and very outspoken about being anti-Donald Trump. See, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
You should have gotten this about 30 seconds ago.
I don't know.
Well,
a gay. I guess like the only gay icon person I could think of like that's a singer would be like maybe like Liza Minnelli or something.
Okay.
Is that her?
No.
She's Broadway, isn't she?
I'm gonna give you another. I don't know. This clue probably won't do anything for you, but she was also on a TV show.
Oh, Reba.
Now I'm not. First of all, I'm not saying that this person is gay. I'm just saying this person is like a gay icon, right?
Oh well, I wasn't saying Reba was gay. I don't know.
No, it's not Reba. She was on a show called Life Goes On, which was about a young man with Down syndrome and his family. She played the mom. Okay. I know you know this. I know you know that song.
Yeah, I just posted on Facebook yesterday, but I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm gonna screen share a picture of her.
Okay.
And now you know the things that you need to know about her.
Okay.
Patti LuPone.
Oh, I don't recognize her, but
not at all, really. Okay.
Sorry,
That's your homework.
Patti LuPone.
Patti LuPone, Lupone.
Okay, I'll look her up later.
Fantastic. All right.
I guess I failed the gay quiz today.
I don't know. We'll have y'all gayed up in no time. I'm sure there's some Seattle gay watching this every week that's just so angry at me about this right now.
Probably.
Because haven't they told you before that you're not gay enough?
Yeah. Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But you know, that's life. But you picked a very obscure gay icon there. It seems like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard of them.
Okay, well, we have some people watching.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today and being part of our show. So what are we going to scrutinize today, Cheri?
Well, we are going to scrutinize some things. We need to go over Real Housewives of New York.
Okay.
We're going to introduce you to one of the characters. We're going to talk about Real Housewives taglines.
Okay.
And then we have random topics that some of our viewers sent that they would like us to talk about. So
all right.
After we do our little we're going to also talk about The Circle real quick.
Yes, The Circle,
so,
which I watched. The Circle, I actually watched the trailer for. So I feel like I got caught up.
You got caught up from the trailer. Okay, so I can see somebody moving over here. Let's cover that up. So I keep my prisoners.
Uh-huh.
All right, so spoiler alert. If you have not watched The Circle, I may give away who won. So
So if you're planning on watching it, if
like
you aren't
this, la
watching it
la
like
la
me,
la la,
okay.
and I'll make a circle. No, I can't do that because I think that's got some kind of symbol. I was gonna say, oh, I'll do a circle when we're done talking about The Circle, so you can listen again.
Okay. So then
Okay.
you know.
So you know how I told you in The Circle, they have people that are real people, and then they have people that are catfishes.
Yeah. And the one guy's catfishing as his girlfriend I saw on the trailer.
There's one girl that's catfishing as her boyfriend, as her husband.
Okay, maybe I saw wrong. Well,
There's a
maybe this is
guy
from the
that's
previous season.
catfishing. There's a guy that was catfishing as a woman that he knew. There was someone catfishing as Lance Bass, and somebody catfishing as just like a young gay man.
Yeah.
And then two of them got kicked out, and they came back together and catfished as an old psychic Santa, which
Oh,
sounds ridiculous, but it was interesting. But
so are any
anyway,
of them actually but are any of them real? Like a lot
yeah.
of them
So
are
then
catfishing.
so that was like they're pretty much kind of like half and half, half for real, half for catfishes.
Okay.
But I'll just say that one of the catfishes won.
Okay.
Okay. Now I watch my TV in bed, like on my tablet a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Dave sometimes comes up behind me and watches over my shoulder.
Which I'm
You
sure
know,
you
yeah. Watches over my no, he comes and watches over my shoulder, and then he started going, but sometimes I like fall asleep. Okay. All the time I fall asleep. Like I have like I'm practically narcoleptic, you know, it's like I fall asleep super fast. So then
Mm-hmm.
he's stuck hearing my tablet going. So he already knows like who's won stuff or how
Right.
something ended. And he says, I'm really mad about this because it was one of the catfishes that won. And he doesn't think that you should get rewarded for being a fake, phony liar.
Well, has he not watched the Housewives of New York?
Yeah, he hates it. But they're not well, anyway. I think it's different when you're playing a game, and one of the rules is that you can be a catfish.
Yeah. I think that when you go into a game like that and everyone on the game knows that's a possibility, that's a little different. Although it does kind of, I can see some frustrations where it does kind of promote that type of activity in real life. So I can see that being not really that great. And unfortunately, it does kind of reinforce the reason why people do it in real life. And that's really what game shows are, right? It's like, hey, this is what people are rewarding in real life. So that's why people are winning on the game show with catfishing, because when you're catfishing, you you actually are way more confident and you present more confident even in your conversation because you are wearing that mask with somebody else. And so you don't have to answer to any of your own insecurities. And so you probably present the best side of your personality, even though it's through a false filter. Whereas if we had the confidence that we had when we weren't catfishing, because we said, okay, I know I look good, I feel good about how I look, so I'm going to step into this conversation and be as real as I can, then people have the chance to really endear themselves to you. But we don't do that because we have all those insecurities in our head. So I think I could see it makes total sense on why a catfish would win.
But see, it's funny that you didn't mention the thing that jumps to my mind immediately is that you're building relationships with these people, albeit in a game,
Right.
and people start to like get feelings, not necessarily romantic, but feelings for each other, and you're lying. Like, I personally couldn't do that. I don't think. I guess, but then I would probably, I just don't think I could do that. I'm really like, honesty is like one of my big things. Like,
Mhm.
sometimes I'm maybe too honest, but I don't usually like fudge the truth. So I
Yeah.
have difficulty with that.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, I guess. I mean, I have a friend that I've kind of catfished, and I just let her think we're really good friends. We even started a podcast together called Scrutiny, and so
Asshole.
we even went out the other night together.
I've been pretending I'm gay all along just so I don't have to have sex with her.
Right. It makes things safer. No, but I get what you mean though, because I think because it's hard because it's a game show, but it's also you're investing so much of your life and your time, and you're gonna develop relationships. So there's that line of where do you, if you go on a game show and you're on Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune for a half an hour episode, you're not crossing that line with people. You can be as fake as you want. But when you're on a show that goes several months and you're having interactions, I mean, the point of the conversation, the point of the game show is to develop relationships, then that is kind of a different level. So that does make sense. I can't do that myself, honestly.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know, but it's a game show. But anyway, so it was, here's the spoiler alert, who won. It was the woman that was posing as her husband.
Okay.
So I think part of that was because she was actually channeling like someone that she actually really loves and cares for, and was trying to do things like as he would do them, So
Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it still didn't set right with me. It got to the point where I was hoping that the annoying chick with the British accent was going to win, and I'm like, what has happened to me?
You were like concerned about what you wanted to happen because
Well, I think it's just she was annoying, but I ended up wanting her to win because she was one of the few that was her authentic self,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes, yeah, we can go from moving from a place to where people drive us crazy into like getting to a spot where we actually like them or are rooting for them because we see their authenticity, and then we say, this stuff did drive me crazy, however I actually now see why they're that way, and I can look past it.
Well, and you know me, I mean, I'm kind of judgmental. I kind of swing that way a little bit, so
Let's judge.
it's something that I was gonna say I try to work on. It's not. I really don't try to work on it. I do feel guilty about it though. So
Well,
that makes
and
me kind of a good person, right?
but I have this back and forth thoughts that I have on being judgmental, because I feel like, we tell people you shouldn't be judgmental and you shouldn't, you should accept everybody and everything. But at the same time, using our judgment and being judgmental in a way that keeps us safe and protected and keeps the right people in our circle is an important character trait. And I think the difference is if you are being judgmental in a way where you're looking down on other people and really putting them down for their differences, that's where it's a problem. But I think sometimes we forget that it is important to judge whether or not someone is acceptable and going to help build us up or not. And so I don't think being judgmental is as bad as it gets a rap for.
There's truth to that. And see, this is why I love to hang out with Andy, because he takes the rotten things about me and makes me not feel so bad about them. A lot of my like judgmentalness has to do with comedy. I'm very like, if I think someone's funny, they're funny, and if they're not, they're not. And I'm kind of really black and white about it in my thinking. And but comedy's subjective. Like I've learned a lot about that working in Nate's club, because it's a predominantly Black room and I'm a predominantly white lady. And there are different things that make a typical Black audience and a typical white audience laugh. And I don't, I got to be careful how I say things. I don't want to like trounce on it, but I mean, so I'm just learning that, okay, just because it's not funny to me doesn't mean it's not funny.
Right.
I'm not the great judge, but I also think some people think they're fucking funny and they're not. And that really bugs me sometimes, because they're getting booked and it's like, why are they getting booked when they're not funny?
Right.
And
Yeah,
sometimes it's because they're new and I'll shut up in a minute and then you can talk. Sorry. It's
Yeah,
because they're new and they're delusional, and I don't want to encourage them because I don't think they're ever going to get it. Okay, go ahead.
I agree. And I think that one of the biggest disservices is when people are booking people in whatever their career is, when they're getting feedback that's telling them they're better than they really are, because unfortunately it doesn't help them develop their skill. And so if someone's getting promoted before they're ready for it, if they're getting booked on shows, if those things are happening at a rate that is out of line with their actual skill set or their talent, then they're going to peak very quickly, and then they're never going to understand why they never got past a certain point. I've had to open up my mind since I started doing comedy to what I thought was funny as well, because there were certain things where I was like, I don't think that person's funny, but I would look around the room and other people are laughing, and I would realize, okay, they're just not funny to me. So I've learned to kind of pay attention to that now, because there are people that just aren't funny that think they are, that get on stage and rant and never actually get to a punchline. And that's much different than people who get to a punchline that I may choose not to laugh at, but 3 people at the table next to me are. Then I can say, you know what? Might not be my type of comedy, but I can see how they are getting booked or how they deserve to get booked, because there's an audience for them. Just as much as some people might not laugh at some of my jokes. And so
last night somebody was sitting next to me, and I was going to talk to you about this before the show. So I'm not going to mention any names because he probably wouldn't care. But he asked me like about the open mic the night before. How did so-and-so do? And how did and I just said what I thought, because usually I do that. And then he said, I think you and I are some of the most honest people out here. Like, we'll just say whether we think someone's funny or not. And so he said, if you ever think that like my set is bad or that I did something wrong, will you please tell me? So I mean, he appreciated my judgmentalness.
Yeah. And that's one thing I was thinking.
I really do have to let the dog out. Keep going.
Okay. Well, I'll go on this little rant then while you do that. But I was thinking about that too with comedy, and whether it's comedy or another business too, it's the same thing. If you're hiring people for a talent that people are coming to your business to see, and then you're hiring people who aren't very good, people are going to stop coming to your business. And whether it's, you're giving your job a friend in construction because he needs a job, but he's really not good at getting the board straight, well, you're going to stop getting good referrals for construction. Or if you're putting on a comedy show and you're putting people on because they're cute or they're friends with somebody or they're dating somebody or whatever the reason is, but they're really not that funny, well, people are going to stop paying to come to your club or your bar for a comedy show, because they're gonna be like, well, I'll go somewhere else.
Right. But we all have room to grow. And I have a couple ideas that I want to also talk to you. There's stuff I want to talk to you about off camera. But anyway, okay. So let's talk about Real Housewives of New York.
Yes.
I want to introduce a character. I just was getting ready to do this, and then I realized, oh shit, I never watched the episode this week because I haven't been home.
Well, I have not seen any of the episodes, so you can get me.
I got a chance to watch it really quick before. Thank God for DVR and no commercials.
Right.
So I'm just going to introduce you to a character today.
Okay, and we met the whole crew last week, and I should have taken notes, but I did not.
I know.
That's how much.
But that's okay, because we're just going to go one at a time, and we're going to go real easy. That way people can maybe start watching it with me.
I was on a call with a gal this last week, and she told me that she has been told that she sounds a lot like and looks similar to one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, which one?
I'm sorry, not Beverly Hills, of Atlanta.
Oh, and them then. Oh.
And that, like, to the point where she'd be in a store and people are like looking around the corner going, is that her?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you Ramona Singer.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember that name.
This is Ramona. Ramona's been around, I don't know, maybe the longest or close to the longest on this of the New York Housewives. She's older than me. She's in her 60s somewhere. I don't know, but she looks damn good. She's had a little bit of work done. Ramona is a character, let's just say.
Now, is she the drinking one?
She drinks, but no, she's not one of the ones I mentioned.
Okay.
She's kind of judgmental. She puts her foot in her mouth a lot and says stupid things to people, and then always has to apologize for it.
Okay.
And she says dumb stuff like she hired someone to help her with this party that in this episode they were having a Burning Man party out in the Hamptons. And she hired some woman to help her with the food and stuff like that. And she called her by the wrong name. And then she said, oh, I always confuse the help.
Oh.
One of the guests is like, she really called them the help. You know, she says stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's not that likable, really, at all.
Yeah. Okay. Fun.
And she's kind of so there used to be this thing about her having crazy eyes, as you can see in this photo right here.
Okay.
Can you tell that she looks crazy right there?
Sure. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I can see it. It's just small on my screen because I'm on my phone. So,
okay.
But I see it.
Right. So Ramona kind of got razzed for that. It seems like she's done something so that now she doesn't have crazy eyes anymore. It's kind of weird. I'm going to stop sharing. But Ramona, she and Sonia have always been besties.
Okay.
You know, Sonia Morgan, the lady that's standing back there that you can't see right now.
Oh, yeah, you're that one. Okay, yeah. That's the crazy drinking one.
Yeah, so they've been best friends, and they kind of have their ups and downs and everything. So we were at Ramona's house in the Hamptons, and they're having a girls' weekend. It just started. So there was really nothing to report that happened. But I wanted to talk to you about Real Housewives taglines. You know what that is?
Is this the party though? You said last week that they were showing clips of the party and it was like they were being all fake and then all of a sudden they were at the party saying they hate each other.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, but that's
showed us a preview. So with this part of the party, they were all just getting there. They were eating, they were swimming, they were all getting along.
So they're drawing the party out over a couple episodes.
Yeah, so like probably next week's when the fireworks are going to happen. But each of the housewives on each of the enterprises has a tagline. So in the beginning, for the intro of the show, whatever, they all wear like the same color dress, but just in different styles. So like one season, they're all in white or whatever, and they come out and they all say their tagline. So I'm going to tell you over the seasons what Ramona's taglines have been. And then I'm going to have homework for you that by next week, you and I are going to have our own tagline.
Okay. So does she change her tagline every season?
I think there was a couple seasons where they stayed the same, but I think now it's like the thing is that they change it every season.
Okay.
Okay, so let me find the taglines. Ramona Singer's tagline. So the very first season, seasons 1 through 3, she said, I like making my own money. I find that an aphrodisiac.
Fun.
Okay, so that was her tagline. So when they introduced her character every week, she would come out and then say that. All right, so then in season 6, her tagline was, get the Pinot ready because it's turtle time. And turtle time is what she calls like when she's getting drunk or whatever. I don't know where that came from. Is that anything you've ever heard of, turtle time?
No, all I could think of is that she's got a turtle head poking. I thought that was a weird thing to go to.
I don't know where that came from.
So, okay.
Season 5, her tagline was, I'm not afraid to say what everyone else is thinking.
Okay.
Now, you know, some people that are rude always say that. Well, I'm just saying what everybody else is thinking. Yeah. It's like, no, you aren't, bitch. You don't even know what I'm thinking. All right.
Yeah.
In season 8, her tagline was, like a fine wine, I just get better with time.
Okay, so she's accepting her age.
Well, I guess. I don't know that that's really true. In season 4, her tagline was, if people can't handle the truth, it's really not my problem.
That goes in line with her other comment.
In season 7, her tagline was, I know I'm a piece of work, but now I'm a work in progress.
Interesting.
Okay. In season
It's a subtype
10,
season, apparently.
in season 10, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And
Is
in
she the
season,
oldest of the housewives?
I think maybe she and Luann are close to the same age,
Okay.
but probably in this enterprise, she probably is. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They're all plastic, you know.
Yeah.
And season 9, this is the last one. Her tagline was, I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste. Okay.
All right.
So a lot of times when people go on Andy Cohen's show, one of the questions that gets asked is, what would be your Real Housewives tagline? And I don't want to come up with something on the spur of the moment. So that's our homework for next week. When we come back, we're going to have our own tagline. You and I, okay?
All right. I'll come up with something. I'm not putting my Desperate Housewives tagline on my dating profiles, though. I'm just saying that's where I draw the
Okay,
line.
well, if you were a
Don't
little
want to give
bit
a false
gayer, you would
impression.
be excited about this assignment.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give the false impression that I watched the show.
Well, you don't have to say, this is Andy from Real Housewives. It's just like, I'm Andy Vargo, and
All right. Well, I'm using On My Awkward is too easy.
there. Well, not necessarily.
Okay. I mean, because that's normally my tagline is, on your
Right.
awkward.
But
I'll
don't
try
just
and
say,
do it.
own your awkward. Make it a like,
Your bus is here.
Yeah.
The way you
Okay.
said that was like, all right.
Okay. Can I just tell everyone what we did the other night after the open mic, where we ate dinner?
Oh my gosh, why I have an extra roll today. Yes.
I feel so fat.
Second
I've
dinner.
been really fat this week. So
I almost said it earlier, but I was like, oh, I don't want to give it away, but I don't care. Go for it.
yeah, so we went to the open mic. It was Taco Tuesday. We had tacos. And then as soon as
In our defense, they are very small tacos.
that's true. Then when it was over, we went to IHOP and ate another meal.
Yeah. Pancakes and bacon and eggs and hash browns for me.
I had crepes, strawberry crepes. They were delicious.
I felt like a hobbit. Haven't you ever heard of second dinners?
What?
Sorry,
I don't
you don't get my Hobbit references.
No.
I
We'll have
won't
to
get
talk
the
to-
Desperate Housewives. You won't get my Hobbit.
I know.
The Hobbits eat meal after they have like breakfast and second breakfast and then lunch and second lunch and then dinner and then late dinner. And so anyway, there's a line in the movie where he's like, what about second breakfast? Like, I don't think he's heard of second. Anyway.
I know, but the thing is that we both told ourselves this week we're getting ready to go to Vegas and we need to like lose a little bit of weight before we go so we could look good.
I'm just going to borrow some of your booby tape.
There we go. Yeah.
I just won't be able to go to the pool. I'll take my shirt off and I'll just be tape everywhere.
Well, they've been bringing me treats every day at work, and I have a problem. I cannot turn down free treats. Like, here's a free treat. Oh, no, thanks. That doesn't happen. All right. You ready for some random topics that viewers have given us?
Yes.
We just got a thumbs up. I think somebody was agreeing that they also can't give up free treats.
I'm not good with giving up free treats.
Yeah. All right. So, you hear about the tiger thing?
Is this the Tiger King?
No. There's like
Okay.
a tiger that's missing.
No.
And some guy that's a murderer. So I've only watched the story a little bit.
Okay, so there's
This is in like the news right now.
And is this like in a city area where the tiger is missing, or like?
Yeah, so they noticed that I
Indian
guess this guy had a tiger at his house, and the
Okay.
tiger was just like lounging out in the front lawn, and people like were driving by and noticing there's a tiger at this house.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So
Okay.
one of the neighbors that is also like I don't know if he was a retired police officer or off duty, I forget. Came over like with a gun. Well, and then the guy that was there with the tiger is apparently like on bond for murder right now.
Oh no.
And so when he saw this guy come out there with the gun or whatever, took the tiger, put it in his SUV and drove off with it. So then it was like having the tiger was a misdemeanor, but running from the cops, especially like when you're already in the midst of another criminal thing, that's like a felony. Well, so they found the guy, but they haven't found the tiger. The tiger's missing.
Wait, okay, so they caught the guy, but the tiger is just somewhere out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm assuming he stashed it with somebody, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know the story well enough, but I'm thinking, like, if you have a guy there, a cop there with a gun, how do you get a tiger into a car and down the street and just get away? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing, if the cop was by himself and just going over as a neighbor, he wouldn't have had necessarily backup, and
Yeah.
he may have had his gun with him, but he wasn't necessarily pulling it out to shoot the guy.
Yeah, well.
So there's that. Because a lot of times he could be, when you're off duty, stepping in from I have my gun for self-defense, but I'm not gonna, I don't know.
Right.
But
I guess what it made me really think about is people like, a lot of people, I don't know that you did. I don't think you did watch Tiger King, did you?
I did not watch Tiger King, no.
Okay. Well, people that have exotic animals as pets, like dangerous animals like tigers and stuff like that. Like, what do you think that says about them as a person? Like, why do you think someone would do that?
Choose to have an exotic animal?
Yeah, like one that you're not supposed to have.
Well, I think, especially if it's one you're not supposed to have, I think, to me, it's kind of, I look at people like that and I just feel like they're just trying to either prove how tough they are or prove that they're not going to be controlled and conform. And so, people express that in different ways. For some people, they do wild haircuts. For some people, they present themselves in a way that they know is going to make people take a second look, in a way that kind of challenges people to, what are you gonna say about the way I'm dressed or the way I look?
Oh my God, guess what? We're not recording.
Oh, well, we can save it from the live. So we'll be able to capture it from the live,
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So some people are like coming up to society in that way that says, I dare you to whatever it is. And so when it comes to things that are illegal or that push the limits, like an exotic animal, I think that's people who haven't gotten the satisfaction they needed from the first level, which is like dress and the way you act in society. So it's like, okay, if I didn't get enough reaction from that, or if people have accepted that, well, now I need to do something even more to do that. And then there are just people who just want to do any kind of challenge that they can in any way.
Well, you know what I think part of it is, I don't know, is that like, okay, if I go to a zoo or something, and this is probably just going to tell everyone how crazy I am, but say I'm looking at an animal, say it's a tiger, I don't know, it could be whatever, and the tiger's looking back at me, like there's part of me that has this like, oh, I think if I just had a chance, this tiger and I could be friends. I think there's something that's special enough about me that tiger would like me and would let me pet it. And I think, I don't know what that is, but I think there's an element of that there too. Just actually a love of animals. And it's like, I'm different. Like I'm different and the animal wouldn't hurt me. Look at Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, I think it's also what a lot of people say that stay in abusive relationships too. Like, if I see this gentle side and I know it's there, what can I do to keep bringing that out, you know? And
damn it, that is part of my fucked upness.
I mean, and it's not always necessarily that bad, but it's kind of like we see this challenge, right? Like when you come from a really loving place and a loving intent, you want to help people and you want to draw that loving side out of others. And so you see that even in the people who treat you the worst and treat others the worst, you still see the ability to be there. And unfortunately, that sets us up a lot of times to be in dangerous situations.
I see one of our friends
Do you?
just reacted to that.
Nice.
And I want to say something to her, but I would give it away. So I just want her to know that I just saw that and I know what she's thinking. So we'll talk about it in Vegas, if you know what I'm saying.
All right.
So that's really interesting. See, you look at things in a way that I don't, and that is fantastic.
It's good to be around people that think differently from you, because
No, like I just had like that was a big aha codependent synonymous moment for me right there, you know, because
wow.
I have had those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, well, I have too.
he doesn't act that way around me, you know, like, oh, he's not going to cheat on me because I'm special, you know. Yeah, it's the same thing. That's very interesting. All right, so the tiger story, we don't know where that damn tiger is.
And if anybody sees a tiger that's just in the suburban or urban areas, not in a zoo, call the appropriate authorities.
Somebody, yeah.
And then let us know. We'd love to know if you were the one who reported a lost tiger.
Right.
That's just
the
cool.
other thing that we were going to talk about is toilets.
Toilets.
Like, yeah, like why are we all putting up with just a shitty basic toilet when there are luxury toilets? Why isn't that the norm? Why are we even worrying about, why are we wasting our time and money with toilet paper when everybody should have a bidet? It should
is that what makes it a luxury toilet, is that it has a bidet built in?
It could have a heated seat, it could have a bidet, it could have the, you know, like there are ones that, like the bidet that I have is just an under the toilet seat and it sprays cold water. Takes a little getting used to, but it does what it's supposed to do. They have some where you can get warm water. They have some that have like a blow dryer. I think they have some that you could point at your girly parts and have a little fun with. You know, like why is that not the norm?
Yeah. Or you could just get a shorter sink and then you could use warm water.
Well, we could also, Carol says in other countries they don't even have seats. No, see, that's just wrong. Well, like in some countries they squat over a hole. I don't want to do that either. But why don't, like, isn't it in like Japan where they have like bidets all the time? Maybe not, because bidet sounds like a French word.
I believe it's a French custom. Japan is where traditionally there is a hole in the floor, although in much of Japan they have more Western toilets these days. But the traditional style is to get strong calves and thighs and squat.
Yeah,
and something is making you laugh.
That's not happening for me, but I think, I don't know. I don't think that, you know, we're staying in a penthouse suite when we go to Vegas. I know we have 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, probably a toilet.
But I don't think we have a bidet. But when we check in, I'm going to ask if we have a bidet. And if they say no, I'm going to say, oh, God, it's my birthday and I really wanted a bidet. And I'm going to see if we can even upgrade further. We'll see.
Okay. I'm going to share something publicly. I have never used a bidet. So even in the TP crisis of 2020, I didn't upgrade to that feature, but I also live in a house by myself, so I was able to ration my toilet paper accordingly. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'm missing out on like one of life's.
You are. So just imagine a world just think of a pressure washer, you know. I mean, you're just out there pressure washing. You can make it as hard or as soft as you want. Sometimes you get a hello and it's aimed just right and it goes in, but it comes right back out. But most of the time, it's just a gentle washing, spraying, and there's no like toilet paper balls. Like, you know, that happens sometimes.
Okay.
You don't have to keep wiping and wiping and wiping and wiping like you have those days. You don't have those. You just hose it off and it gets, you know, did you ever have one of those Play-Doh fun factories when you were a kid?
Uh-huh.
Where you squeeze the thing through the thing.
Yeah.
Like if you had the one that was a star, you know, like all the little pieces of Play-Doh would still get stuck in there.
Right.
And then so like if your butthole's like that, like eventually those last little bits that you couldn't get with the toilet paper are going to kind of seep out. And you might have like an itchy butt or something. Well, that doesn't happen with the bidet. You just spray it, it gets everything, and then you're fresh as a daisy. Like your butt never gets dirty.
So this is a topic someone wanted us to talk about.
Well, we're blaming on Calvin Eggleston. He brought up luxury toilets. And I just took it to a whole new level.
It's interesting because I've always been satisfied with my toilet situation. I've never really thought that there was more, but this is the problem with life too, is that we're satisfied with what we have until we see that there's more out there, and then we realize that we're missing out, and then it's, well, now I need the next level. And
right.
And I think there is a fine line between, okay, let's raise the standard, because that's good to raise the standards for everybody, but let's also be grateful for having a hole.
I'm always grateful for having a hole, Andy. I just really think that, to me, that it's really like, okay, it's like when I was in 5th grade, when I started my period in 5th grade, don't worry, I'm not going to get graphic here. You had to put a pad, they didn't have the sticky stuff on the bottom of pads. You had to wear a belt around your waist that had a clip, and you had this long pad, and you had to like step into it and clip it in the front and the back. And you had a belt that you had to wear because they hadn't invented the sticky stuff on the back. Now, come on, they had stamps back then. They had to have invented the sticky stuff already, but nobody was smart enough to think, oh, we should put that on there so it just sticks on the underwear. It was like a no-brainer, but because people don't care about women, they never thought of that.
Okay, well, I just learned that there's sticky stuff on the pads. So I'm glad that at least now there are better solutions.
Yes. Or like pantyhose. Like back in the day, you had to have the whole garter, and which is fun for dress up. But every time you want to go to church, you had to put on the garter and the stockings and all that. And then somebody like finally, not until the 60s or whatever, says, oh, why don't we just make pantyhose so we can just pull them up? Of course, nobody wears this anymore. I'm just saying, sometimes the most obvious thing isn't thought of first.
Right. And that is the thing with life and society, is that, you know, an invention gets made, and then until somebody actually says we're tired of dealing with it in this form, then, you know, when did they first start putting toilet paper on a roll versus just squares? Or, you know, it's like at some point someone says, you know what, we could make this more efficient, and then it takes it to the next level. And I think that what you're calling for is that toilets need to be taken to the next level.
Right. And so for like, not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before, we bought everyone in our family bidet toilet seats. And I don't think anyone has installed theirs yet. So whatever, they just don't know what they're missing. So I guess if you're going to buy someone a bidet toilet seat, just get them some kind of installation to go with it too. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, because somebody brought this up, is things that we're too lazy to do. Like sometimes, do you ever wonder, like, why are you too lazy to do something that's really not that hard?
Like wipe your butt.
Okay.
Yes, I have that. Like right now, from where I'm sitting, I can see dishes in my sink that I've walked past like 4 times in a row, which seriously will take me 5 or 10 minutes to do, but I just don't want to do it.
But is that really, is that lazy or is that just you don't want to do it?
At this point, I feel like I'm lazy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm just avoiding it. I don't know why.
Okay. You know what I thought of for myself?
What's that?
Is that, and this is interesting because, because I have messed up knees and it hurts me to walk. A lot of times I hold my pee till I'm like bursting because it hurts. Partly because it hurts to get up to walk to the bathroom, and partly because I'm lazy. But maybe I'm lazy because it hurts. But
do you find that I don't feel like that's necessarily a lazy decision either. If you're avoiding pain.
I know, but come on. I'm having pain because my bladder is full too. But this is an interesting thing that I found out. You know how like a lot of older people in the summer die in the heat? Like that's a thing, like when it gets really, part of that is because they get dehydrated. And you know why older people get dehydrated often?
Why is
they
that?
Don't want to drink anything because it hurts to get up and go pee.
Oh, wow.
That's a really common thing that nobody ever talks about. So
yeah, it should be talked about.
Yeah. Anyway, laziness.
Well, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I'm laying there trying to decide whether or not it's worth it to get up and go pee, or if I should just wet the bed. Because it's like, I'm just tired and I want to stay in bed. And I'm just like, I was like, dang, I really have to go to the bathroom.
Do you ever have those dreams that you're going and then you realize, I'm not? Yeah.
You don't think I've had one like that? That's funny.
I have the dream where I'm looking for a toilet in my dream.
Okay.
But every toilet, there's like the door won't close and there's a bunch of people looking at me. And I'm like, I can't go here. Or every toilet is broken, or there's none of it. So, and then when I realize that I'm having that dream, I wake myself up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Which one day, sorry, I'm talking a lot. Go ahead.
No, go for it. Please do. Which one day?
I just want to say that someday I would like for us to talk about dreaming and dream analysis and lucid dreaming.
Well, and I think maybe for our next episode, I'd like to talk about when is it right to give a stranger your phone number?
Ooh.
Because I had that scenario come up last weekend, and I'm not sure I handled it right.
Why do you think you didn't handle it right? Are we?
Well, no, I wonder if I gave it up too soon.
Okay. I'm writing down what we're going to talk about. So next week, we're going to do taglines.
We're going to do taglines.
And all of you that are watching, I want you to tell you, you got a week to come up with a tagline for yourself. I would love to hear other people's taglines. So you can either watch it live with us and tell us live. I'm able to see the comments this time. So I know how to read the comments now. Or you can email us at Scrutiny with Cheri and Andrea at Andrea. Okay, let me say that again. Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy at gmail.com and tell us your taglines, or tell us the taglines that you think we should have. And we'll read them on the air next week. Taglines and when you should give up your phone number.
And maybe when not to.
And I think actually, Andrea, why do I keep calling you Andrea?
I don't know, but have another one, please.
Probably because I have a son named Andrew, and so I'm used to the D and the R. I think you're just flexing. You just wanted everyone to know that somebody asked for your number, but whatever.
Maybe I am.
Why not? You're a hot babe.
I don't know.
Especially after you shave off that mustache, it'll be even better. So
I did have a mask on when he asked for my number.
You're gonna take it off and he's gonna go, ah! No.
Well, no, I know. People have syndrome now.
What does that mean?
Ugly under mask.
Oh.
You see somebody and they look really good, and then they take their mask off. You're like, that is not how I pictured the other half of your face.
But well, look at the other night. Some guy came up and talked to all of us at the table. Oh yeah, and then walked away. We all looked at each other and said, "Who was that?" Like none of us knew who it was. I still don't.
Yeah, I did appreciate your post.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So I'm sorry that I forgot to record this, but yeah, we can
We'll pull it off the live and we'll be
download
good.
it and I'll fix it. I'll fix it. But yeah, remind me next time because I'm an idiot
I will.
apparently.
I feel bad. I usually look for that little red dot. I didn't even catch that. Well, I was having technical difficulties today, and so I was just, technology and I are not getting along today all day it seems, but
All right. So any show ideas that you have, taglines you have for us, email us. We want to hear from you. I'm glad
Yes,
you guys were here watching with us today. As always, Andy, I love to see you. Tomorrow night, I will be in the audience at Tacoma Comedy Club watching Chad Daniels. I had someone offer me a ticket, and that was very nice.
yay. That will
So,
be fun.
yeah. All right.
Excellent. Love you, Cheri. It's been a pleasure. It's always fun to hang out and share our personal brand of Scrutiny.
All right. I'll talk to you in a minute after we end this. Bye, everybody.